good Saturday morning to you, and welcome to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live. Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country, AM 1400. I'm your host, Mike Stanhope. And we begin this morning by saying goodbye to a true legend. The Deacon, Dick Rautenberg, has passed on. And I quote here this morning from one of the friends who was closest to the Deacon, Pat Kilduff. Pat, companion to Dick for many, many years, and quoting here, "It's with a heavy heart that I have to tell everyone that my best friend, mentor, and the man that I'm proud to say was more of a father to me than my own these last 30-plus years has lost his fight. He's now at peace. The pain is over. God bless you, Deacon Dick. I love you. You will be missed. Rest in peace. Deacon Dick Rautenberg, January 5th, 1936 to June 15th, 2013. The words, once again, of Pat Kilduff on a tremendous loss to the entire racing community and to the Yuma area in general. Dick Rautenberg's racing career, well, you can go back to the 1960s, and Dick Rautenberg's name stamped throughout Yuma and Arizona racing history, a Hall of Famer, numerous championships, over 500 career wins, but it's not the numbers that are the true measure of the man. The Deacon was generous to everyone who came into contact with him, and he made it possible for literally hundreds of drivers over the years to participate in this sport that we love so much. Whether through donating parts or financial support or offering words of advice or simply friendly encouragement, Dick Rautenberg touched lives in a positive and meaningful way. Joining us in studio this morning, Randy Hoeft with N2 Photographics and the Yuma Sun, and also Greg Burgess, the Director of Operations at Cocopah Speedway. And gentlemen, thanks so much for coming in on a somewhat somber day today here on Laptime Live.
It's an honor to be here, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Greg, we're going to turn things around a little bit this morning. You, of course, have been here in the Yuma area a little over a couple of years. Were able to obviously meet Dick, but you didn't know him perhaps like Randy and myself did, and things you maybe would like to know about the man that perhaps Randy and I can relate this morning.
I think, and you're right, and I appreciate that, and coming from an area that had a lot of history and a lot of legends of in their own right. One of the obvious things I wonder is where the name Deacon came from.
You want to take that, Randy?
Sure. A long time ago, I asked him that question, and he told me that when he was a youngster, like I think 5, 6, 7 years old near somewhere, that his mother used to always take him to church, and he had as we all know, a propensity to talk. And one day after church, he was leaving, and the deacon at the church stopped his mother and said, "He talks as much as the deacon." So hence his name, Deacon Dick, started from there.
Great. Where both of you have competed in local area on the track at times. Did either or both of you race against Dick?
I'll start with that one first. I moved to the Yuma area in 1971, and as soon as the family found out there was dirt track racing to be seen here in the Yuma area, we were out there on the edge of the mesa, the old Yuma Speedway, back when it was the quarter-mile bull ring, so was able to watch Dick in action out there at the old Yuma Speedway for many years, particularly of note him driving in the super stocks at that time. First actual meeting that I really had with him beyond the shake of a hand, and I think in my archives at home I've still got a couple of old Speedway programs that I've got autographs from him in. But 1984, racing had gone across the river over to Quashon Speedway. Of course, the old Yuma Speedway facility was still there on the edge of the mesa, and my brother Kevin and myself, well, we were both interested in getting involved, and as chance would have it, Dick had organized a group of racers. Everybody put up a little bit of money, and we got insurance and got somebody to drive a water truck, and out to the old Yuma Speedway grounds we went. Very first time in a race car, here I am on the quarter mile out there, and right behind me is the Deacon driving a modified mini stock. Have to say that I spun out in front of him. Dick just gave me a big smile after that, and then we went out and raced around some more, started getting comfortable with the car, and And at the end of it all, Dick came up to me and said, "Hey, kid, keep at it. You did good." And, well, I raced for a couple of more years after that, and then, of course, it turned into the announcing deal. But just that encouragement meant so much.
Modified mini stocks. Dick and I raced against each other over in Winter Haven for, 5 or 6 years. My one memory was that one night I actually beat him. And when I was going into turn one after getting the checkers, I get hammered from the rear. I mean, knocked my head back, and it was him. He came and just smacked me, just knocked almost senseless. So we get into the pits, and I went over, and I wasn't mad, but I wanted to know what was going on. I said, "What was that all about?" And he said, "Randy, my boy, just I want you to get cocky."
Well, you got to race many other times against him as well over the course of the years, but it's the friendships outside the racetrack that have continued for all of us.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I met him in 76 or 77. I don't remember which year it was, and he was already, people weren't going to like it when I say this, but he was already approaching legendary status at that time. He won the first Super Stock Championship at Yuma Speedway, and like I said, he raced over at Cocopah Speedway. As a matter of fact, truth be known, or it is fact, I suppose, Deacon Dick, he financed Cocopah Speedway. It was through his wallet that they built that track over there. It was on a loan, and they eventually paid it all back to him. But that's how deep his interest actually went. Of course, he raced at the new Yuma Speedway when Jerry Thomas opened it, and then he and I and several others ventured down to San Luis on Sundays. We'd race down there. And one of the stories I like to tell is that we took our modified mini stocks down there, and one Sunday afternoon he won the heat race and he won the main event, and that was it. It was 2 races, and he didn't think he'd had enough racing, so he went up to the officials and asked if he could tag the super stock main event. And they thought he was crazy, but he said, yeah, I would like to, and they said no problem. So he goes out there and he tags the super stock main event, and he wins it. So that's Deacon Dick Rautenberg right there.
Sums it in a nutshell very nicely indeed. We're going to come back and reminisce more here in just a moment. You are listening to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, Racing Radio, here on Outlaw Country AM 1400, brought to you by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating.
That thing from Kilduff.
See it all? 1 Hour can help. Need help upgrading your old, inefficient system? 1 Hour can help. Now's the time to schedule your annual air conditioning safety inspection for just $59. Call 1 Hour today at 783-4242. Some limitations and exclusions apply.
We're always on time. You don't pay your time.
Thank you for shopping at Food City. We've got some incredible 3-day Father's Day weekend specials, like Roma tomatoes, 2 pounds, just 88 cents. Pork brisket ribs, $1.29 a pound. El Pato hot sauce, 39 cents for the 7-ounce can. Bar S jumbo meat franks, just 88 cents each in the 16-ounce package. Those Ranchitos flour tortillas, 10 count, just 99 cents. And Tecate or Modelo beer in the 12-pack 12-ounce cans, just $7.99. Thank you for shopping at Food City, the store with low prices when you need them.
Perfect to the letter. You just can't do better.
Summer's here. Are you ready to spruce up that boat or watercraft? Sign-Pro can provide boat letters and custom graphics. Look your best on the lake or river and make a splash. Visit Sign-Pro for your free estimate.
You just can't do better. The Sign-Pro sign. America comes to Sign-Pro.
Thanks for asking, but I'd rather not send you nude pictures. I'm camera shy. I already said no. Under my clothes, I'm a robot. My webcam is broken. I'm worried they'll get passed around school. I have a rash. I have nudophobia. I have lizard skin. I'm a vampire, so I don't show up in pictures anyways. Your badgering has really killed the mood.
When someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to, how many ways can you say no before they get the message? Let us know at that'snotcool.com. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It's time again for Amberley's Place Weekend Paradise, hosted by Main Street Cinemas. Ever feel you need a break? A slice of paradise? Well, we got what you need. This year, our grand prize is a trip for two to Hawaii with airfare, hotel, and travel money. So buy your ticket for just $10 and get ready to say aloha. Visit AmberleysPlace.com, click on Weekend Paradise, and buy your ticket for a chance to win one of 10 great prize packages. Or visit our thrift shop on Avenue Way and 8th Street, Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 5, or Saturday, 9 to 1. Drawing is June 28th, 6 p.m. Be a voice for victims, and support Amberley's Place.
Territorial River Regatta.
It's the Territorial River Regatta, Saturday, June 29th. Round up the gang, grab your river gear, and join in a community tradition from Caballeros de Yuma. The Territorial River Regatta starts at 8 a.m. where the Gila meets the Colorado. Start building your float now for your business, team, church, or nonprofit. The first 20 floats to register get a free certificate for lunch for their crew of up to 5 at official regatta restaurant, Yuma Landing Bar and Grill. Float awards are made at 11 a.m. under the bridge at Gateway Park. Plan a picnic there and cheer on your favorite float with thanks to Yuma River Tubing, Ed Whitehead's Tire Country, WealthCare Financial, Papasan Rice Bowl, and Yuma County Chamber of Commerce. Entry form, rules, float information, safety tips, and a map to the launch point at caballeros.org. General info at 928-276-4803.
Territorial River Regatta.
Saturday, June 29th. Get your tube, dude.
And welcome back to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. And remembering today the life of the legend, the Deacon Dick Rautenberg, who passed away last night early this morning at the age of 77. And again, joining us in studio this morning, Randy Hoeft with N2 Photographics and the Yuma Sun, and Director of Operations at Cocopah Speedway, Greg Burgess.
Hey, I thought it was interesting during the commercial here. Randy shared a couple of stats that I find really interesting. And when you're talking about 500 career wins, which is just astounding, there's guys that have raced for years, still searching for one career win. But go ahead and share some of that stuff, Randy. I think that's really, really interesting.
He was very proud of the fact that he'd raced in 5 different decades: the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and of course 2000s. Matter of fact, I believe the 2000 season at Imperial Valley Speedway, where he won a heat race, and that would have given him a win in each of those decades, and he decided that was the time. That was actually the final time that he retired. I think there were 5 other times before that he retired, but anyway, that was his last time out in a race car. I don't know what else to tell you. Well, 508, right?
508
career wins, and which was a big part of getting him or having him inducted into the Arizona Motorsports Hall of Fame in 2007. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, the man just ate, spoke, and bled racing. It was his love, besides fishing, of course.
A name that was known to race fans throughout the Yuma area, and talking about Dick coming out of retirement more than one time. I can well remember being up in the announcer's booth out at the Speedway, and hey, Dick is coming back, and you'd catch sight of him in the pits or out on the track. And I mean, there was a palpable buzz in the crowd. People anticipate, hey, Dick is back. He's going to be racing, man. I mean, that was something, and it really defined the word event. I
got to tell you, during the time he was at Cocopah Speedway, of course, he was already a winner, but he kept adding titles onto his resume and so forth. We used to use the phrase that he was the guy that people loved to hate, and he got booed quite regularly from the grandstand because he won so much. I call it the Jeff Gordon syndrome, or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, one time I asked him, when you come out on the track and you hear the boos, does that bother you? And he said, no. So it doesn't bother me at all. He said, when they don't make any noise, that's when I'll start worrying about it.
Indeed.
Yeah. What was both you being involved in speaking to many drivers? What was Dick's competitors' attitude? Competing against Dick. How did they feel about racing against him?
They didn't like it. This was a man who his passion was racing, and there was nothing that was going to keep him from getting to the checkered flag first, if it meant knocking your butt out of the way or buying the best equipment available. I mean, the man loved to race. I don't know how else to put it. Here's a story for you. Larry Corning, he comes to the Speedway now. He helps out some people there. His son Mike, when he was a youngster, I've been thinking 5 or 6 years old, over at Winter Haven, Dick had a tradition where whenever he'd win a race, if you were a little guy and you came out of the grandstand down in the pit and you went up and if you shook his hand and told him congratulations, he'd give you a quarter. Well, one day, Larry Corning and Dick had diced it out on the track, and Larry didn't get the best end of the deal. But little Mike, not knowing any better, he goes over to Deacon Dick's pit, and he shakes Dick's hand, and he gets a quarter, and he goes back and he shows Larry. He says, "Hey, look, I got a quarter from Deacon Dick." Larry Corning told Mike, "You take that quarter right back to that man right now."
That's good stuff. I think the retirement stat, retiring 6 times, kind of says something about the frustration that can be involved along the lines, and I think some of the guys today could learn from that. As mad as they get, is you were probably going to keep doing this no matter what. So you toss your helmet and get mad and yell, but racers tend to keep racing, and it sounds like that's what Dick did a lot. He just loved racing, come back, and I think we've got a lot of competitors that way these days. So don't be retiring, guys. Just keep going.
I can back to Dick's competitive side, as Randy was saying, oh yeah, wanted to be first to the checkered flag every time out, but and he'd bump you, he'd bang you, trying to get there. Remember that happening to me a couple of times, but you know what? Off the track, a nicer person you wouldn't want to meet. Tremendous respect, and again, the willingness to pass along advice, the things that he learned over those 5 decades of racing. Just a phenomenal man that way.
That's true. We're talking about his racing career here, but like Mike was just saying, his I don't know what you call it. His legend goes way beyond that. I mean, he's one of the, I wouldn't know if he would call him a pillar in the community, but he's definitely one of the unsung heroes in the community, that he's done so much for so many people that he never received any recognition for, nor did he ask for any recognition for it. Never wanted it. When he was named the Yuma County Citizen of the Year in 2009, I believe, and I know that in the nomination letter, there was a story that one of his drivers told about a family that was stranded along the interstate on the other side of Telegraph Pass. Car burned up. They were on their way from Texas to San Diego. He asked the father, it was a father, mother, and I think 3 kids. He asked him, what are you going to do? And the father said, I don't have a clue. He reaches in his pocket, and as you know, Dick used to carry around a wad of bills in his pocket, and he handed the man for $500 right there on the freeway, and then loaded him in the truck, took them brought him into Yuma, set him up at the, I think it was the 6 Motel, took him to dinner, and then the next morning met him at the hotel, bought them breakfast. And then Jackie or whoever followed him there with a car that he pulled out of the yard. Not a junker, but a car. And gave each one of the kids $50 and gave the man gas money to get to San Diego. That's Dick Rautenberg. That's the part that you don't hear about at the track. The guy's heart's bigger than this room. I mean, he's just an incredible individual. It was an honor to know him. I don't know what else to say. That's the man.
We're remembering Dick Rautenberg today on Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, and we will be back with more in just a moment.
Find out more about your city of Yuma. The city is on TV through the city's Time Warner cable channels. City 73 features local interviews and gavel-to-gavel coverage of the Yuma City Council. The city's on the radio, Outlaw Country 1400, 6 to 9 a.m. each Thursday, where we discuss issues and take your calls. The city's on the internet at yumaaz.gov, where you can learn about every city department or function, sign up for recreation programs, or pay your water bill online. Going mobile? We're also on Facebook and Twitter. The city's a phone call away at 373-5000. The city is open. Visit City Hall 7 to 6 Monday through Thursday and 7 to 5 every other Friday. Meetings and work sessions of the Yuma City Council are open to the public. Radio, TV, telephone, internet, or in person. Find what you need from your City of Yuma.
Summer's here. Are you ready to spruce up that boat or watercraft? SignPro can provide boat letters and custom graphics. Look your best on the lake or river and make a splash. Visit SignPro for your free estimate.
Bobby's Territorial Harley-Davidson presents the 80s Flashback Dinner and Dance at the Crest on June 29th, with proceeds to benefit Hospice of Yuma, man. This will be a night of big hair, retro 80s fashions, dinner from 6 to 8 p.m., and dancing to the hits of the 80s from 8 to 11 p.m. Tickets are just $10 pre-sale. Available at Hospice of Yuma and Bobby's Territorial Harley-Davidson. Only 300 tickets will be sold, so hurry and get yours today. Prizes will be awarded for the best 80s costume, too. Get your tickets now and don't miss this great night of 80s flashback fun, man. And help Hospice of Yuma at the same time. So, ladies, dig out those denim mini skirts, tease that hair, and layer on as much eyeshadow as you can. And, dudes, parachute pants, high tops, and hair gel. That's what I'm talking about. And make it a totally awesome night. See you at the Crest on June 29th.
Electrical work can be needed for a whole variety of situations. Let Specialty Electric help you. With all the various types of electrical work in your home, it's good to have a team of professionals who can bring your home to life. Specialty Electric not only does residential work, but does quality commercial work as well. Serving Yuma for over 30 years, Specialty Electric will be there every step of the way to ensure you'll get the quality work you deserve. For all of your electrical needs, day or night, call Specialty Electric, 783-3086, where quality is our specialty.
The American Legion Auxiliary Unit 19 is taking part in Project for the Homeless to benefit Crossroads Mission. You can make a difference. It's sad and true. We have homeless veterans right here in our community. They need your help, and they deserve your help. You can send checks or donate gift cards, clothing, bedding, and non-perishable food items. Drop items off at the American Legion Post 19, 2575 South Virginia Drive. Every bit helps our veterans and stays right here in the Yuma community.
Welcome back to Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. This is Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. And again today, remembering the life of the Deacon, Dick Rautenberg. And just to kind of set us up for the final portion of our program today, just want to look back over Dick's Hall of Fame career. 1968 Superstock Division champion at what was then Yuma Speedway. 73 Superstock champion again. 77 again in the Super Stocks, and in 1980 as well, along with 1981. Then division championship in the modified mini stocks in 1984, in 1985, 86, 87, 1990, and finally in 1997, late model division champion out at Yuma Speedway. But again, we go beyond the numbers here when we talk about Dick Rautenberg. Not a driver in this town for many, many years who didn't benefit from Dick's generosity, either through Dick giving away parts to him or sometimes reaching into the wallet.
There have been many guys that have said over and over that if they ever needed a part, all they had to do was drive out to Dick's and it was yours. And I don't even know how many of those guys actually paid for those parts. I don't think there were too many.
I can attest personally to having been out there more than one time, and Dick said, "What you need, take it."
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You want to lead into this other thing here?
Fire away. Fire away.
We were talking about his generosity and what he was away from the racetrack. As many people know, he was in love with fishing. Also, he loved to go fishing. What some people don't know is he also liked to play softball. And matter of fact, last year he was inducted into the Yuma Slow Pitch Softball Hall of Fame. not as a player, but as a sponsor.
Yes.
And he has sponsored Dick's 25-hour towing for I don't know how many years now in the City League. And then one other story is a couple, I think 2 years ago, when the Knights of Columbus, they used to serve up these free spaghetti dinners to anybody who was in need of something to eat. And they announced in the newspaper in the Yuma Sun that they had run out of the money and the spaghetti dinners were going to end. And lo and behold, who comes to the rescue? Deacon Dick Rautenberg. And he gave them enough money that they, I think, they served 53 more weeks of dinners, I believe, with the money that he gave them. And the joke was that the reason he did it is because he was such a big fan of spaghetti, but we all know that's not true. So
Indeed. I can close with one final comment here as we wrap up our recollection today of the life of Deacon Dick Rautenberg, and this is a subject we're going to revisit again here in the not-too-distant future. Some other special friends who we'd love to have as a part of the program to talk a little bit more about Dick and what he's meant to the racing community here. But one more time to quote Pat Kilduff this morning, so many memories. Yes, he was a Hall of Fame racer and ball player, but most of all, Deacon Dick was a Hall of Fame man in life.
Indeed, Mike.
We'll remember him well that way today. We don't have official word on services as of yet. Things are being put together with a ceremony potentially planned for next Saturday, but again, as that information becomes available to us, we will certainly pass it along to you, members of the Yuma racing community. We do have another name that we would like to pay some tribute to this morning as well, Greg.
Yeah, the racing world as a whole lost Jason Leffler this week, and Jason went through the NASCAR ranks, but started on dirt tracks and many USAC championships, and was racing a sprint car this week, a winged sprint car, and had a horrible accident that took his life in New Jersey, Baytown Speedway, I believe.
Yep.
And what a tough deal, and it kind of all week has sat with me how serious this is, and as frustrated as we all get at times, and as hard as everyone is working to make our speedway special, we at times just need to settle down and realize how serious this really is, and things can change in a moment's notice.
Well, our thoughts and prayers are certainly with the entire Leffler family, as they are with the Rautenberg family at this time of loss for both. The traveling road show that was the Lucas Oil Regional Off-Road Series Arizona's packed up and moved on. A big crowd out last Saturday for the Arizona Short Course Championship Series, and Greg just wanted to make note this morning. Well, we talked about the transformation going into that event, but there's been a massive transformation again, as if you were to drive out and take a look at the track right now, looks like they were never here.
Yeah, and that, again, got to thank Les Evans has just been so great for our speedway, and what a great friend, and his crew, and he was there last week and literally saved those guys numerous times, providing help, equipment, knowledge, and he was there when I showed up. They were making headway on Sunday night, but I was worried about how it was going to look on Monday morning, and lo and behold, showed up there a little before 8 o'clock, and Les had been there with one of his crew members since around 4 a.m., and the place looks absolutely beautiful, and so I got to pass on many thanks to Les and his crew last week, along with our Speedway crew, who also worked very hard last week. It was a challenge at best. Have had many positive comments. Can't say we'll be jumping in doing that again soon, but it was a challenge all the way around. It was nice to be able to provide the community with a different type of racing, show that our speedway is versatile, can be used in numerous ways, but I'm kind of like an oval racing this week, so I'm looking forward to September and getting back to that.
We all love that the most, but we would be remiss this morning if we didn't mention as well, upcoming in just a little over 2 weeks, return of an Independence Day tradition.
Yeah, it's going to be great to have the demolition derby. I gotta say, out of everything we've done, it's been amazing over the last 2 years. And it has been 2 years now. We'll see if I can make it past that 3-year mark we've joked about. But it probably the most requested event over the last 2 years would be the 4th of July Demolition Derby. And so I got the blessing of my superiors and look forward to bringing that back and looking forward to having a fun day out there on the 4th and have the Demolition Derby there. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a bicycle race for the kids planned and a couple other events there. And then as darkness falls, we'll turn around the other direction and watch the fireworks go off at the casino and hopefully make a great night of it.
Going to be an outstanding night indeed, Randy.
I can't tell you how many calls and letters and whatever emails we get from people asking what happened to the demolition derby at the fairground, because that was a big tradition here, and now the Cocopah tribe has stepped up and they're going to bring this long-standing tradition back to life. And speaking of Deacon Dick Rautenberg, he competed in many of those also. Never won one, but he was basically a perennial entry in the 4th of July Demolition Derby.
I well remember him in his choice of car for many years until that car was basically wiped out by the rules, and that was you knew you were going to see the Deacon behind the wheel of a Chrysler Imperial.
Do you remember the year that he brought the big black truck out to the what do you call it, the preview part of the whole program?
Yes.
When he crashed it into 2 buses or took on 2 buses, both the Zeller brothers were
yes.
competing. That was crazy.
A good time indeed. And
I've heard quite a few stories about some of the acts that went on back then, and all I wonder about is if they had any insurance, because some of that stuff we just can't do. But we look forward to bringing back that tradition at a new location out at Cocopah Speedway and making a great tradition for years to come.
I don't think Deacon Dick ever worried about insurance, Greg.
Greg, we're going to look forward to having you back here very soon as we've got lots to talk about over the summer break regards the second half of the 2013 season at Cocopah Speedway. One couple of race-related notes we do want to pass along this morning, and that is one of our local drivers with a very aggressive summer schedule, Imperial's Lance Maury, driver of the number 19 SB IMCA Modified, made a trip to Victory Lane last night at Central Arizona Raceway in Casa Grande. Maury's making the tow over to Canyon Speedway Park for competition tonight, and talking with Randy earlier, we've got our factory stock drivers Jordan White and Craig Ebers also making their way over to Tucson for some action. So as our local drivers branch out, farm out over the summer break, we look forward to passing those results along to you.
Yeah, I think it's great to see those guys getting out there, and I know there's more looking at going and doing some traveling. We spoke a little bit about Doug Rivera. I know is wanting to do some traveling. Joe Haynes called me this week. He's wanting to get out there some. I know some of the sport mod guys and stock car guys have already done some traveling, and there's more of them wanting to travel. And then if I can just keep the mic here, I've got a couple items that I tend to stay connected a little bit with racing, not only in the Northwest, but around the nation as much as I can. So a couple of Northwest things I wanted to note. Grays Harbor Raceway tonight hosting first night of the Wild West Modified Tour, which will be 8 solid nights of racing at, I believe it's 7 different tracks over the next 9 nights. So if you guys are up for something like that, maybe we can get something like that going in Arizona soon.
Bring it on, bring it on.
They will also, at Grays Harbor, there'll be a little bit of some memories going on tonight, as it was this weekend in 2006, where we lost promoter Fred Brownfield, and Fred meant so much to racing, not only in the Northwest but around the nation, with being the owner of the Northern Sprint Tour, the National Sprint Tour, and a lot of the world of outlaw drivers just had so much respect for him. And then, of course, the men who took Grays Harbor Raceway from a fairgrounds facility to being a great facility, one of the top regarded facilities in the nation. So my thoughts will be back there with old friends tonight. Along with that same line, Fred's niece Joanne married to Joe Beaver, who races in Knoxville on a regular basis in the 360 division. Joe last weekend picked up his first feature event win since 2002 when he and wife Joanne's brother Travis, racing in the 410 division, both won on the same night there. This will be last weekend's feature win for Joe Beaver was his first win without his father being with him, so that was an emotional night for them, and I know there was a lot of smiles and tears, and those guys made lots of trips out to race Fred's memorial race in the Northwest and got to know them well and very good friends. Another note from the Northwest, Jason Sowald, former World of Outlaw driver, 2010 ASCS Northwest champion, picked up a great ride this week. The number 82 number 82 Buffalo Wild Wings car. Jason is now in, raced last night in Minnesota, and started 17th, came home 14th, flew in there yesterday morning, met his new team, and so I think that was a solid finish for him, and I know he'll be racing at Knoxville tonight. So great luck to him. Either of you know anything about being a race director? As my race director, Lena Miller, will be hot lapping a stock car at Waukene Speedway in Kansas tomorrow night. So we'll hope she has a good time, but she doesn't enjoy that too much and want to get back to the seat.
Good luck to you, Lena.
Yeah. So that's all I've got. I want to congratulate Lance Murray on his win and wish the other guys luck in their racing throughout the summer. I'll be around here all summer, so if anybody needs me, please swing by the Speedway and see me or give me a call. And I appreciate being here today. Thank you, guys.
Greg, you got the widest open door in Yuma, and we thank you for that. And Randy Hoeft with the Yuma Sun and N2 Photographics, we thank you for coming in this morning as we reminisce today about, one more time, the Deacon, Dick Rautenberg.
It's a pleasure to be here, Mike. I just wish the subject matter could be a little more on the happy side. But
we all certainly wish that, but you know what, in sadness, we can all smile too as we remember the wonderful man that he was. You have been listening to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live Racing Radio here on Outlaw Country AM 1400. We would note again that the 4th of July Demolition Derby coming up in a little over 2 weeks out at the Diamond in the Desert. It will have a standard gate opening time of 5 p.m. along with opening ceremonies, some very special ones indeed, happening at 7 p.m. that night. Standard ticket pricing available at $10 each. Your military and senior discounts at $8 each, and of course juniors 6 to 12 at $5. Kids under 6 always free out at Cocopah Speedway. More information on the Demo Derby, rules, and of course the entire 2013 season at Cocopah Speedway, available on the World Wide Web. Just log in to www.cocopahspeedway.com and be sure to like us on Facebook. You've been listening to Cocopah Speedway's Laptime Live, presented by Cocopah Casino and by 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. And we'll be back with more next Saturday morning, 11 a.m. here on Outlaw Country AM 1400.